Good morning everyone. For today's discussions is talk about the laws of the table tennis, edition June 10, 2004. Table. Number 1. The upper surface of the table, known as the playing surface, shall be rectangular 274 cm long and 152.5 cm wide, and shall lie in horizontal plane 76 cm above the floor. Number 2. The playing surface shall not include the vertical sides of the tabletop. Number 3. The playing surface may not be of any material and shall yield a uniform bounce of about 23 cm when a standard ball is dropped onto it from a height of 30 cm. Number 4. The playing surface shall not be uniformly dark colored and matte, but with a white sideline, 2 cm wide along each 274 cm edge and white end line, 2 cm wide along each 152.5 cm edge. Number 5. The playing surface shall be divided into two equal courts by a vertical net, running parallel with end lines, shall be continuous over the whole area of each court. Lastly, number 6. For doubles, each court shall be divided into two equal half courts by a white center line, 1 4-inch wide, running parallel with the sidelines. The center line shall be regarded as part of each right half court. And the next discussion will be discussed by the team. Thank you.
Net assembly. The net assembly shall consist of the net, its suspension and the supporting post, including the clamps attaching them to the table. Second, the net shall be suspended by cord attached at each end to an upright post 15.25 cm high from the surface of the table. Outside limits of the post being 15.25 centimeters outside the sideline. Third, the top of the net along its whole length shall be 15.25 centimeter above the playing surface. And fourth, the bottom of the net along its whole length shall be as close as possible to the playing surface, and the ends of the net shall be as close as possible to the supporting post. The second part is the ball. The ball shall be spherical with a diameter of 40 millimeters. Second, the ball shall weigh 2.7 grams. And third, the ball shall be made of celluloid or similar plastic material, and the color shall be white and matte.
The racket. The racket may be any size, shape, or weight, but the blade shall be flat and rigid. Number 2. At least 85% of the blade by thickness shall be of natural wood. An adhesive layer within the blade may be reinforced with fibrous materials such as carbon fiber, glass fiber, or compressed paper, but shall not be thicker than 7.5% of the total thickness or 0.35 millimeter whichever is smaller. Number 3. A side of the blade used for tricking the ball shall be covered with either ordinary pimpled rubber with the dimples outward having a total thickness, including adhesive of not more than 2 mm, or sandwich rubber with pimples inward or outwards having total thickness including adhesive of not more than 4 mm. Number 4. Ordinary pimple rubber is a single layer of non-cellular rubber, natural or synthetic, with pimples evenly distributed over its surface at the density of not less than 10 per square meter centimeter and not more than 50 per square centimeter. Number 5. Sandwich rubber is a single layer of cellular covered with a single outer of the ordinary pimple rubber. The thickness of the pimple rubber not being more than 2 mm. Number 6. The covering material shall extend up to but not beyond the limits of the blade. except that the part nearest the handle and gripped by the fingers may be left uncovered or covered with any material. Number 7, the blade. Any layer within the blade and any layer of covering materials and adhesive on blade for tricking the ball shall be continuous and of even thickness. Number 8, the surface of the covering materials on the side of the blade or of the side of the blade, if is left uncovered, shall be matte bright red on one side and black on other. Number 9, slight deviation, devi- deviation from continuity of surface of uniformity of color due to accidental damage or wear may be allowed provided that they do not significantly change the characteristics of surface. Lastly, number 10, at the start of the match and whenever the player changes his racket during a match, he shall show his opponent an umpire.
Okay, so these are the definition of a table tennis. First, a rally is the period during the ball is in play. Ang rally ay ang panahon sa laro kung saan ang bola ay patuloy ang paglipat-lipat ng lugar ng bola papunta sa magkabilang team na hindi ito bumagsak sa sahig. The second, the ball is in play from the last moment at which it is stationary on the palm or the free hand before being intentionally projected and serviced until it touches anything other than the playing surface, the racket held in the racket hand or the racket below the wrist or until the rally is decided as let or a point. Ah, habang naglalaro, um, habang naglalaro kung saan galing ang bola na hinahawakan ng kamay o ang kabakanting kamay, ang bola bago ito sadyain na paluin papunta sa area ng kanyang napili at hanggang tumama ito sa sahig na pinaglalaruan. Ang racket ay hinahawakan ng racket hand or racket below the wrist hanggang natapos ang rally na may nanalo na. And the third, a let is a rally of which the result is not scored. Ang let ay isang rally kung saan ang resulta ng laro ay hindi nakapuntos. Number 4, a point is a rally of which the result is scored. Ang point ay isang rally kung saan ang resulta ng laro ay nakapuntos. Number 5, the racket hand is the hand carrying the racket. Ang racket hand ay tinatawag ay ang kamay ng player na may hawak sa racket. Number 6, the free hand is the hand not carrying the racket. Ang free hand na tinatawag ang kamay ng player kung saan wala siyang hinahawakan na racket. Number 7, a player strike the ball if he touches. It is play with his racket held in the hand or with his racket below the wrist. Kapag ang player ay tumira o pumalo ng strike sa laro at tumama ito sa hawak niya, ang racket ay nasa ibaba ng kanyang wrist. Number 8, a player obstruct the ball if he or anything he wears or carries it in play when it above or traveling towards the playing surface. Not having touched, he is scored since last being struck by his opponent. Kapag ang player ay na-block ang bola o kahit anong kasuotan o dala niya sa laro, habang papunta na ang bola sa taas man o baba patungo sa court at hindi ito tumama sa court niya sa huling pagpalo ng kanyang kalaban. Number 9, the server is the player due to strike the ball first in a rally. Ang server ay siyang unang upang pumalo sa bola sa isang rally. Number 10, the receiver is the player due to strike the ball second in a rally. And the receiver is the player due to strike the ball second in the rally. Ang receiver ay ang pangalawang papalo sa bola sa isang rally. Number 11, the umpire is the person appointed to control a match. Ang umpire ay isang tao na nagkokontrol o nagdidesisyon sa isang laro. Number 12, the assistant umpire is the person appointed to assist the umpire with certain decisions. Ang assistant umpire ay ang tao na mag-a-assist sa umpire para sa certain na mga desisyon. Number 13, anything that the player wears and carries includes anything that he was wearing or carrying other than the ball at the start of the rally. Lahat ng suot o dala ng player sa loob ng laro kasama na lahat ng suot o sala maliban sa bola sa pagsisimula ng isang rally. Number 14, the ball shall be regarded as passing over or around the net assembly if it passes anywhere other than between the net and the net post or between the net playing surface. Ang bola ay dapat isalang-alang pagdaan nito sa net over around the net at ito ay lalagpas kahit saan sa gitna ng net o gitna ng poste o sa gitna ng net at harapan ng kalaban. And the last one, the end line shall be regarded as extending indefinitely in both direction. Ang end line ay dapat ituring na umabot ng walang katiyakan sa parehong direksyon ng court.
The return. The ball, having been served or returned, shall be struck so that it passes over and around the net assembly and touches the opponent's court, either directly or after touching the net assembly. The order of play. Number 1. In singles, the server shall make a good service. The receiver shall then make a good return, and thereafter server and receiver alternately shall each make a good return. Number 2. In doubles, the server shall first make a good service. The receiver shall then make a good return. The partner of the server shall then make a good return. The partner of the receiver shall then make a good return, and thereafter each player in turn in that sequence shall make a good return.
Hi, I'm Fantilanan, based BAM second year. My topic for this report is alert. The rally shall be alert. Number 1. If in service the ball in passing over the net assembly touches it, provided the service is otherwise good or the ball is obstructed by the receiver or his partner. Number 2. If the service is delivered when the receiving player or player is not ready, provided that neither the receiver nor his partner attempts to strike the ball. Number 3. If failure to make a good service or a good return or otherwise to comply with the laws is due to a disturbance outside the control of the player. Number 4. If play is interrupted by the umpire or assistant umpire, play may be interrupted. A. To correct an error in the order of serving, receiving, or ends. B. To introduce the Expedite System. C. To warn or penalize a player. Or D. Because the conditions of a play are disturbed in a way which could affect the outcome of the rally. Thank you.
Play. So, hi everyone, good morning. I'm Florin May Desono and I will be the one to report a point in table tennis. So, unless the rally is alert, a player shall score a point first if his opponent fails to make a good service. So, for example, yung opponent ko is na-fail sa pag-serve, it means it is my point. Second, if his opponent fails to make a good return. So, kapag naman ako nag-serve and then yung opponent ko is hindi maayos yung pag-serve niya or hindi umabot sa court ko or lumampas sa court ko, it is considered as my point. Third, if after a player has made a good service or a good return, the ball touches anything other than the net assembly before being struck by his opponent. So for example, ako nag-serve ako and then yung bola na-touch ng something or anything bago ito tamaan ng opponent ko, it is considered as my opponent's point. 4. If the ball passes beyond the line without touching the other player's court after being struck by his opponent. So, dito naman sa 4, kapag naman for example ako nag-serve and then yung bola is hindi nag-bounce sa court ng opponent ko and na out siya, it is considered as my opponent's point. 5. If the opponent obstruct the ball. Kapag naman, for example, nag-serve ako and then yung opponent ko is pinigilan niya yung bola, it is considered as my point. 6. If the opponent strikes the ball successively. Kapag naman na-double touch or double bounce ng opponent ko yung bola sa kanyang racket. 6. If the opponent strikes the ball with a side of the racket blade whose surface does not comply with the requirements mentioned above. So, kapag naman yung opponent ko is pagtama niya sa bola and then sa side siya ng racket na tama, it is considered as my point. 8. If the opponent or anything or carries moves the playing surface. So, for example, yung opponent ko is, yung racket niya is natapon sa playing surface or sa court. So, it is considered na point ko. 9. If the opponent wears or carries touches the net assembly. For example naman, hinabol niya yung bola and then pag ganun niya sa racket niya is na-touch niya yung net, so it is considered as my point. 10. If the opponent's free hand touches the playing surface. So, for example, itong right ko is, ito yung nakahawak sa racket and yung left, ito naman yung tinatawag na free hand. So, itong free hand na to, kapag na-touch mo yung playing surface or yung court, it is considered as your opponent point. 11. If a doubles opponent strike the ball out of the sequence established by the first server and the first receiver. So, for example, sa doubles naman, si double A ang nag-serve, which is, ang mag-receive ng bola is si opponent A. So, kapag si opponent B ang nag-receive ng bola, it is considered as my point. So, as provided under the Expedite System. So, that's all. Thank you for listening.
A game. A game shall be won by the player or pair first scoring 11 points unless both players and pairs score 10 points, when the game shall be won by the first player gaining a lead 2 points. So, in this tennis game, the scoring system nila is a game is won by being the first player to win 11 points and be at least 2 points ahead from his or her opponent. But, kung ang dalawang magkalaban is tie or both of them score 10 points, then kung sino yung first player to get at 2 points ahead from his or her opponent, ay siya pong mananalo. So, dito naman po sa a match is, it shall consist of the best of any odd number of games. So, it is a rule of table tennis game which states that a match is best of any odd number of games and it is usually the 3, 5, or 7 games.
So, good day everyone. I am Labto Felongco from BSBA, major in Marketing Management, second year. So, my topic for this report from Group 2 is the order of serving, receiving, and ends of table tennis. So, number 1. In table tennis, the order of serving, receiving, and ends is up to the decision made by a lot, and the winner has the choice or holds the choice to whether he chooses to receive first or to serve or to choose to start at a particular end. So, next is number 2. An example for this is when the winner player or pair choose to serve, the other player or pair will choose the remaining other choice, like either to receive first. So, number 3. I'll explain number 3. When the two player or pairs already scored 2 points, and the receiving player will become the serving player na. And until the end of the game na yon, unless both scored 10 points, which needs Expedite System. And Expedite System means players to alternately have one serve at a time until the end of the game for also 1 point in turn. Number 4. For the doubles match, the pair that will serve first will choose which one of them will serve, as well as for the receiving pair. Pipilitin sila kung sino sa kanilang dalawa ang magre-receive first. And for subsequent games ng match, the first receiver will be the one who will serve to the first server in the preceding game. Next is number 5. In doubles, in each change of service, ang previous receiver will be the one naman na mag-serve, and ang partner niya will be the receiver. Number 6. Second to the last number. So, number 6 stated, ang player or pair that served first will receive first naman in the next game. And in the next game ng match. And for doubles na game, the order of receiving will be changed when one pair scores 5 points first. Last number 7. Number 7 stated that the player or pair will change ends in each games of the match, and also pag first player scores 5 points, they will definitely also change ends ng table. So, that was all for my topic, the 7 order of serving, receiving, and ends of table tennis.
Out of order, serving, receiving, or ends. First, if a player serves or receives out of turn, play shall be interrupted by the umpire. As soon as the error is discovered, and shall resume with those players serving and receiving who should be server and receiver, respectively, at the score that has been reached according to the sequence established at the beginning of the match. And in doubles, to the order of serving chosen by the pair having the right to serve first in the game during which the error is discovered. Second, if the players have not changed ends when they should have done so, play should be interrupted by the umpire as soon as the error is discovered, and shall resume with the players at the ends at which this should be at the score that has been reached according to the sequence established at the beginning of the match. And third, in any circumstances, all points scored before the discovery of an error shall be renounced.